Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reels 101, How to Grow Your Business with Instagram Reels. I'm Tyler from Plann, and I'm super pumped to have you guys joining us to learn how you can really grow your small business using Instagram's fastest and most booming new tool. So really quick, let's hop in and talk about what we're going to run through today. So today's webinar is obviously all about Instagram Reels, not to like re-punch the point, but what we're going to talk about is what a reel actually is, how the Instagram algorithm actually distributes your reels and your content. We're going to walk through some steps to get started with basic reels. So a couple of different options just so that you feel comfortable at least, putting your first reel out there. We're going to talk about how you can find trending audio. We'll run through adding in different effects and stickers and closed captions and all of those like little intricacies that really help you boost your engagement. And then at the end, I'm going to walk you through how you can auto post your reels with Plann. So a little bit about me really quickly. I'm Tyler. I'm the brand partnerships and social manager here at Plann. So I'm kind of the man behind the curtain of all of the comments and DM responses on Plann. And then I also look into like strategic partnerships to really help the company grow itself. But ultimately, I've spent the last 10 years of my life really working in small businesses and startups and helping, small business owners, creators, and solopreneurs just like yourself really focus in on their marketing and their social media efforts. And that's really what my overall goal is every day, is that I want to help you strategize those marketing efforts because after working with so many small business owners, I know that it can be really hard to grow your small business and stay on top of social media and marketing and producing content. So to walk through this step by step, here are just a few things that you're going to need to have handy if you're following along throughout. So today's webinar will be on Plann's desktop, the web app, but it would also be really helpful for you to be able to kind of track along in our companion app. You can download that for free on the App Store or Google Play Store. And then obviously this is all about Instagram Reels, so having an Instagram account and the app open is going to be really key as you follow along. But today we're focusing on Instagram and the web app. You will need a Plann account. So if you don't already have one, go ahead and sign up for free as we get through the next few slides at the URL you see there on the screen. And then you'll need to get your Instagram account connected. So you've got a little bit of time. I'm going to run through a few things if you want to do that really quickly, or you can just save this and come back to it and do that later. But let's keep moving. So let's talk about what reels actually are. So at some point you've probably been like, what the heck is a reel? So if you're new to Instagram, if you're new to reels, or really just getting started with your video content strategy, knowing exactly how cool and how beneficial a reel is and what they are and what they do is going to be really key. So what reels are just short form video content, usually up to 90 seconds long, but Instagram released a new update last week that says all videos on Instagram on the platform are now going to be distributed as reels as long as they're under 15 minutes. So just keep that in mind. We expect some changes to come soon, but ultimately that's the gist of what a reel is. It's just short form, vertical, cropped video content. But reels have truly transformed the entire Instagram experience, and Instagram is really prioritizing this short form vertical content. So they're creators, small business owners, all of these folks out here who are really trying to connect with a global audience and connect with even just their local audience. Reels have really become that tool that helps them boost that engagement. And they're really becoming an essential part of your marketing and social media strategy. So don't sleep on reels. Make sure that you pay attention and, follow along, see what you learned today, and try to put a lot of these steps to good use. But before we get into the actual act of creating a reel, I want to talk to you about why your business should be using Instagram Reels. So just a few stats that you see on the screen. So on average, adult users on Instagram, not all in one sitting, but across the span of an entire day, they're spending roughly 30 minutes daily on Reels. So this is huge because obviously we like to go to movies. We might not go on a stroll. We might not go to a museum, but we're going to go watch a movie or stream that new show. And so video content is really what is gravitating users' attention today. Reels are also simultaneously Instagram's fastest growing feature. So I've been on Instagram, since 2010, since it really started getting like building up traction, and I've never seen a tool or a feature blow up exactly like Reels. So this is honestly like the biggest boom that's ever happened to Instagram is this tool that you can use to grow your business. Aside from that, if you're an e-commerce brand or a small business owner that's really dependent upon sales, 86% of users say that they would purchase, try, or recommend a product that they came across on Instagram Reels. So this is very similar to how we see those found it on TikTok kind of shopping list on Amazon and different shopping platforms. So this is a great way to put your products in front of a global audience and really boost those sales. And additionally, reels also have a longer shelf life than just a static image photo, or just a basic piece of content on Instagram. Reels have a longer shelf life, with most users seeing a spike in engagement weeks or even months later. I know for myself, I try to post reels pretty regularly at this point, and sometimes I might get like 8 likes. And then it's a week later, and all of a sudden I've got over 100 likes, and I've got all these comments kind of coming in. So just make sure that you don't get discouraged when you post your first reel, because the traction comes a little bit later. To put it into a better perspective, the most viewed reel since Instagram Reels has rolled out has been viewed 289 million times. And that was when I created this presentation. So it's probably racked up more views since then. And to give you an even like side-by-side comparison, the entire population of the United States is around 330 million people. So almost an entire country has watched this one video, which is wild. So that just goes to show you how important it is that you really get started with this Instagram Reel strategy. So before we get going, I want to talk about, tips for getting started with Reels. So one thing that's really important is that you stay consistent. And when I say stay consistent, I mean be consistent in your niche or your niches. If you've got a couple of things that you really focus on. And the reason why I say that is because most of the time when users come across your reel, that's their hook. That's their hook into following you and engaging with your future content. Now, if you go and you change that content and you start talking about other things and you're not showing up regularly, that can really discourage audience members from following and joining your brand's community. So we like to recommend posting 3 to 5 reels a month or a week. Now, obviously, if you're just getting started, that's probably a little intimidating. So just start with 1. Work yourself up to 2, work yourself up until you're really comfortable and you've got a good flow going to get these Instagram reels, pumped out so that you can really take advantage of a video content strategy. Another tip is being authentic. So, we're human, we falter, we have goals, we have dreams and ambitions. So being authentic and sharing those things with your audience on a reel is a really great way of connecting with a global audience in a realistic way. Share something educational or inspire them with your content. And that'll encourage people to save and watch your content on repeat. It's also totally safe to put your own spin on something that's trending. So if you come across something that you see another creator or another small business owner doing, you can apply that to your niche. You can apply that to your specific brand of content, but make it your own. You do you, own your magic, make that into something that works for your brand. That's what I often do is I'll see something and I'm like, this is not totally relevant to marketing. However, with a few text on the screen and a little bit of explanation in the captions, my followers can really take advantage of that. As I mentioned, be consistent in your niche, because sticking to your niche or sticking to a very defined niche is how you can attract more followers, attract a larger audience to come and engage on a regular basis with your account. So stick to your niche, or, right within the kind of like parameters of your niche. And then also use relevant hashtags. Hashtags are just essentially micro communities across Instagram. So adding those in is a great way to increase your chances of putting your content in front of the right people. Now, I want to talk about a big word that's swimming around the internet and swimming around Instagram, and that is the algorithm. And an algorithm it sounds like a much scarier word than it is, but all it is a set of instructions that Instagram uses to identify when, where, and how to distribute and display your content to certain individual users. And it takes into consideration a whole bunch of things like that user's individual history, where they're located on the globe, details of their profile, even what device that they're using, trending content, as well as relevance to that individual and their interests, and several other contributing factors like how often are they engaging with the content that you're posting. Are is it relevant to current events and world affairs and things of that sort. So there's several different little blocks that go into how the algorithm actually performs and showcases your content. So don't be discouraged, just keep consistent, keep posting, and keep getting better, and finessing and really fine-tuning your video content strategy as you learn and go about the process. So let's talk about some easy ideas to inspire your content. So content on Instagram Reels, creating that can feel really overwhelming, but it's honestly a lot easier than you think. So like what these videos that you're seeing and these videos that you can run through, these are some really simple examples that are performing really well on Instagram just because they're authentic and they're helpful and they're fun. And so these are just some quick ideas to inspire your first few reels. So you can talk about educational content and showcase a tutorial or how to do something. Behind the scenes and frequently asked questions are also really great for showcasing users your process. If you have a handmade product or if you have a service that has like an immediate outcome, showcasing that behind the scenes of how you get to that point is also really great for a reel. And answering questions that show up repetitively in your comments or in your DMs, create a reel, turn that into a piece of video content that can gain new followers and build up your audience around the globe. Users typically like to be inspired. That's why we go to Instagram. It's to find those beautiful moments, those beautiful images. And so, by providing something inspiring while also entertaining. So I like to make a bunch of funny reels, a bunch of funny videos, and showcase my personality as well as I can to get across in video content. So, inspire and entertain your audience. Also, if you're an e-commerce brand, Reels are incredible for showcasing your products or your services. So, we're coming up to the end of the year. We're on the second half of this year. The holidays are going to come in really fast, really hot, and that's a really great opportunity for you to go ahead and put your products out a few months before the holidays arrive. So that way it can build up that traction and continue to gain interest around whatever it is that your brand has to offer. So that way you can end your year with a really strong sales boom. And don't be afraid to showcase your community and your audience. So they're asking questions, they're engaging with your content, they're there to support you and your business. They're showing you love, show them some love. So now let's also talk about what are some easy ways to help your reel perform at its best. Always add closed captions if you're talking. So if you are actually recording yourself explaining something or talking, adding closed captions. And the reason why we do this is because, we do have people with disabilities or hearing impairments. And this is also really great for anybody who is in an environment where they can't have a loud sound playing. So that way they can also still, get the opportunity to engage with your content. Avoid uploading videos with a TikTok watermark. That's a really big no-no. And the reason for that is because Instagram's algorithm actually pays attention to that and will rank your content down lower just because TikTok is a direct competitor. So making sure that you upload your content without those watermarks is pretty key. And what I like to do is I'll just film it myself and cut and edit it in a separate tool, and then I'll pump them out to different platforms. So that way I don't have to worry about and kind of work around the watermark stuff. It's also good to write a punchy opening to your caption, something that really draws a user in. Again, making sure that you pay attention to your hashtag strategy. And Plann helps you tremendously with hashtag suggestions. We have hundreds of done for you in industry, marketing, industry professional researched hashtags across a plethora of global industries. So it's really a quick grab way for you to boost your engagement by using hashtag suggestions from Plann. You can also add trending audio. So even if you plan to speak, having that sound, that trending sound, really gives you a boost in connecting with new audience members. Also, add a hook with the text additions on your screen, like, would you believe this, or come check this out, or this is going to be a game changer for your XYZ. Go ahead and add a really strong hook so that it draws people in, just like that really punchy caption. And don't be afraid to tell people what you want them to do with your video. Like this video, share this video, save it, comment your opinion, because we're very acclimated to the double tapping on photos, but we're not super acclimated, or we haven't rewired our brains just yet to double tap videos. So a lot of video content just gets scrolled repetitively without actually gaining a bunch of reach or engagement. So tell your users what you want them to do. Also, look at your analytics, look at your results page on Plann, and see what types of content are working. See what times and dates of the week are working best to distribute your content to a new audience. And then repurpose that content. I mean, you're already making it. So if you're going to put it on Instagram, go ahead and try to share it to TikTok. Try to share it to Pinterest. Try to boost your engagement in utilizing all of the tools that are available to you. Now let's talk about an easy way for you to kind of make some content, get it, set up and ready to go for an entire week. So all three of the posts in this slide were created in roughly 20 minutes. And that's what we call batching content. So you sit down in one sitting and you create multiple different videos, or you write out content for, the rest of the week. And so this is how I really kind of keep things moving along, so I don't have to stress out about I need to get something up so I stay consistent. So in 20 minutes, I was able to just take these short clips, record them, and some of the hacks that I recommend for this is go ahead and have a list of topics, have a list of your content pillars ready to go so you know what you're going to be turning these reels into. And then I like to keep, a fun shirt or a hat, different kind of sunglasses and things, nearby or as an easy grab. So that way I can do a really fast outfit change and then make sure that it doesn't look like the same content repetitively, and I can make users more engaged on my actual grid. And then I'll spend the remainder of 20 minutes or an hour cutting and editing my videos and then loading them into Plann. So that way I know that they're auto posting for me after I've spent this short amount of time each week, creating content. And once you've filmed a few or 3 or 4 of these little quick few second videos, you now have a content grab for the rest of the week. So it's a really easy way for you to, get this out of the way very fast and then just keep, funneling along and growing your small business and connecting to new folks. So let's talk about a really easy first reel. So reels are actually really easy to make, and some of them are only a few seconds long. So when you're creating a reel, on that create page, there's a big button down in the bottom middle, and all you have to do is press that and you can film like you see on the screen right now. This is a really simple way to show a tour of your space or show something really interesting really quick. And then we can go through and explore audios, add in an audio really quick, something trending or something interesting. And then once I've done that, I can also go down to the bottom of that page and trim and edit that audio. I can also go in, add some text. I can, add engagement stickers and all sorts of things, customize this one individual clip into something really great. So that's one really quick way to go ahead and get started with Reels, is just film a tour of your space, add some text that invites people in, throw in, some engagement stickers, and, tweak your audios and just, explore with this one clip reel. And, you can always go back and splice those together. You can overlay that text like I mentioned. You can dub your audio by, mixing and raising and lowering volume levels, and we'll get into that in a minute, and remixing and all sorts of things. You've got so many capabilities. So this is just a really easy way to get started. Now, another super easy way to create your first reel is to go ahead and take clips that already exist in your camera roll. So I recently went to Yellowstone National Park, so I'm going to pull some clips from there, and you'll see that as I'm adding these in, I'm taking the time to trim them kind of back and forth so that I know that they fit into like a decent amount of time. And you can record and edit these, in advance, and then plug them in later. And then pump in some trending audio or an audio that you've saved, or maybe you want to import something original. And then similarly to like we just discussed, just trim and edit it to match the vibe that you're going for or the music that you have lined up with it. So Instagram is obviously pumping reels right now, and that's like their biggest, most important feature at the moment. So while this is a huge transition for users, they've made it super easy with templates. So now when you go to the Reels Create page, you can look at the very bottom and you'll see this kind of toggle option between Reels and templates. You can punch or toggle over to templates and then select from a preset template collection from other Instagram users all around the globe. And then all you have to do from there is, like you've seen in this video, is just pump in your own media from your camera roll, and then Instagram will automatically adjust that to the sounds and to the clip spaces. So this is a really easy and incredible update that's going to allow you the opportunity to make more video content like 10 times faster. Now, obviously, I've talked about adding in a trending audio and, tweaking your sounds and things like that. So let's talk about finding trending audio. So when you're looking for trending audio, you've got a couple of ways. So you can either click that Reels icon at the bottom middle of the screen and scroll through different Reels and find inspiration. But what you'll need to pay attention to is that little small arrow, like the icon you see on this slide. At the bottom left corner under that account's username, you'll see a small arrow next to an audio title that's scrolling. And it's just scrolling across the bottom. If you see that little arrow, that means that audio clip is trending. Now, you can still use an audio clip that's not trending, but it's always best to use something that is trending because that's how you're going to boost that engagement. You can also click into that scrolling audio. You can just click it and explore within it. And that gives you the opportunity to save that audio, use it immediately, or you can scroll through that page for that audio and see how other users in your niche or just across the globe have been using that same exact sound. A second way to find trending audios is to go back to that Reels Create page. And you'll see the little music icon on the left or right of your screen, depending on your accessibility settings. You can click into that music icon labeled audio, and you'll be able to explore a curated library from Instagram of for you, genre-specific, trending, and like curated collections from music artists that you can apply to your reel. Once you found one, you can always just pump that into your reel and have it like as an overlay and tweak that later. Or this is also a page where you can access saved audios that you've come across while you're scrolling, or where you can import an original audio from another video in your camera roll. Instagram is really pushing original audio right now, so keep that in mind. And if you've got something fun or exciting to say, go ahead and say it and then plug it into a reel. Other creative ways for you to find trending audio. We here at Plann, we push out a blog every week and update a blog with trending Instagram and TikTok sounds that you can take advantage of. So make sure that you either subscribe to our newsletter or check out our website weekly or check out our socials, because we do try to give you everything that you need to have the confidence to get started with Reels. Another few quick ways, peruse that explore page. So at the bottom of your home feed, you've got your kind of navigation bar down there. You can click that little magnifying glass. So you've got your home, it'll be home, magnifying glass, reels, whatever, and whatever. Click that little magnifying glass and you'll be able to see tons of other uses within your niche or things that might inspire you, and you can find some really good audios in that section. Again, we talked about finding that tiny arrow to the left of your kind of scrolling audio clip. That's going to be super helpful. Snoop around on TikTok. Check out Pinterest. Most trending sounds usually come out of TikTok, and you might come across some on Pinterest, but don't forget to check those if you're kind of stuck on ideas for something new. And then also Pandora and Spotify keep a regular flowing and revolving playlist of what's currently trending on audios across social media. So you can always bank on those being available. So these are just some other creative ways for you to find audio. So now let's talk about a few moves and transitions. So movements and transitions are a great way to showcase your brand in a fun and energetic way. So this one that's on the screen right now is a before and after. So I like to, showcase myself wearing one thing or doing one thing or holding some type of product and do a quick twirl or just like a wave across the camera and show like a before and then an after. And this is a really great way of showcasing how your product or your service solves a problem or makes life better. So this is just a really quick example. Feel free to laugh at me, whatever. This was just something on the fly, so I could give you a really quick example. Another good move is to add, a list or a list of ideas or steps. So listicle kind of video content is great so that your audience has like quick steps or instructions on how to solve a problem that they're experiencing. Or how you can talk about your product in a way that benefits that user. And all you have to do is just add a word one at a time and then trim how long that it stays on that screen by clicking on those words highlighted at the bottom of your editing screen, like you see down at the very bottom there. And then the last transition I wanted to show you is called a here and there. So sorry for my like rocker moment here, but a here and there is honestly so incredibly easy. Simply film yourself. Film a clip of yourself in one location and then cover the camera with your hand like this. So I'm in this location, I'm wearing this situation, I'm gonna put my hand over the camera and maybe I'll change clothes or grab a different product. And then when I start my next clip, I'm going to start with my hand right at the camera and remove it to display that I'm in somewhere new or I'm wearing something new or I'm holding something different. And this is really great for you to showcase an experience, to showcase and reveal something new or awesome right there on the spot, or showcase what kind of result that users can, or that your audience can, reap from what it is that you have to offer. Once you've changed those, like once you've kind of started this clip where you're coming away with your hand, putting on a hat, putting on sunglasses, changing your appearance a little bit is going to really make this very quick, easy transition something great for you to take advantage of. We're also going to talk about text, adding text and stickers and effects. So when you get done kind of filming your videos and checking things out, you'll get over to the preview screen for Reels, and you'll see 6 icons across the top. And so those are all on this slide. The first to the left is the download your reel, or so that you can save that video content to your camera roll as is. Now there's a really big point to note. If you're using a trending audio clip that's on Instagram, you will not be able to download that kind of completed video with that trending audio. The only way that you can download it with sound is if it is the sound of your voice or sound of the original audio that you've imported into that reel. Otherwise, you can still download that clip and then go back in and add your trending audio later. This is great for if you want to schedule it and then add your trending audio later, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But this is just a really great tool for kind of like collecting your content so that you can distribute it across platforms. The next icon is this little music sign, and what that gives you the ability to do is to add sound effects like doorbells or yelling or the ding of a bell at a certain point on your reel. This also helps you tweak your audio levels. So let's say that you're adding a trending audio, but you're also trying to explain something. So when you get to that music sign, it gives you the opportunity to turn your voice up and the audio down, or vice versa. Turn that audio up and your voice down. So this is a really great way to take advantage of, trending audio clips, but just bring that volume of the audio clip down so that way your voice and your tutorial or that educational piece that you're trying to add is still very focused and available to be heard. And then you'll still also get that kind of like engagement boost from using a trending audio. The next icon are these three little stars, and that's where you can explore all the special effects that you see, like when things are scrolling on front of somebody's head, and it's like, what is your Google search? And adding like a trippy kind of filter vibe, or maybe you want something brighter, like it's in the sunshine, or whatever. There's a whole plethora. You can also use green screens from this area. Just type in green screen. You can add in like virtual backgrounds like you would on a Zoom, so you can explain something, or maybe you want to talk about an article. You can also go to that next icon and do a whole bunch of other fun things. So this little icon that looks like a smiley face sticker being peeled off indicates stickers. So this is where you'll be able to add engagement stickers like, emoji reactions, polls, quizzes, GIFs, all sorts of things, and also where you can stamp closed captions directly on your reel. And like we mentioned, that's really great for people that are in kind of quiet spaces or just are hard of hearing. So you'll access all of those really exciting, fun, like GIFs and stuff like that right within that sticker. The little squiggly line is how I've drawn the flowers on this reel. And that's just free drawing with your finger, and you've got a few different options to choose as like a stylus. Like you can use a highlighter and a marker and an eraser and all sorts of things like that, which is really, really fun and cool. And you can also draw your own custom icons. And then the very last icon is text. And on that text icon, that's where you, very similar to on your Instagram stories, where you can add a call to action, where you can add some sort of text, edit that color, change the font, and move it around on your reel to a perfect place. So obviously in this one I added Monday mood. You can move that however you like. Now, this is obviously not the most beautiful example of everything that you can do, but just wanted to be able to showcase all of the flexibility that you have on this preview page before you actually go to post. And also, like I mentioned earlier, Instagram is always evolving. It has always evolved since its inception, since its origin. And some of those changes are really frustrating, but most of them are really, emphasis on the real, really awesome. So let's take a little bit of time to talk about what's new on Instagram Reels. So Instagram Reels recently introduced a dual camera feature, which is really, really great for educational, tutorial, or reactionary content. And it's pretty self-explanatory. All it is that you have the ability to film a reel using both your front and back cameras. So it's really great for showcasing your process step by step. Maybe you're a chef and you want you want to show them like your excitement about it while also walking them through the steps of how to do something. Or maybe you want to showcase a reaction to something that you're experiencing in real life, or showcase like how you're feeling in a moment, and be able to bring them full circle into that experience on a reel. And then also green screen. So the green screen functionality, like you'll see playing here, is where you can really showcase different tools, big announcements in your industry, niches, showcase an article in the background, showcase the process of creating a reel with your face actively there. And it's just a fun, engaging way to have content. Now, green screens are beginning to show up in different spaces for different users. So some folks are starting to get that green screen in that kind of left or right aligned toolbar, like you see on the side of this particular video. Green screens are starting to show up there. If you do not have it there, you can always go back to those three little stars that we talked about before on that preview page, or actually while you're recording, either or, and you can search and add in green screen capability. And this really is great for showcasing industry-specific articles or showcasing an update to walk users through what those changes might be on a tool or a type of software that they use. Another one that has it's not new, but it's been revamped. So remixing with Reels. Remixing has been around, and it's super similar to like doing a duet on TikTok or stitching your clip to somebody else's TikTok. However, remixing other people's content is a really strong way of showcasing like side-by-side reactions or product comparisons or product evolution or your business's evolution. But to access remixing, on a reel or a photo that you've viewed or that you're viewing, all you have to do is click on the three little dots in the top right corner of that reel, video, photo, whatever it is. Once you've clicked on that, you'll see a few different options that are available. You can either do a side-by-side remix, you can do a front and back remix, meaning that it'll show that content and then it'll show whatever it is that you've recorded in your clip. And this just really gives you a great opportunity to boost your community, like taking advantage of like what your community is saying, or if they shoot a reel or post a photo about your product or your service, being able to do a remix or a side-by-side like reaction with them talking about it is a really it's a really great engagement boost. So Plann obviously helps you schedule and do everything that you need. So on your screen right now, you can watch how I'm uploading my own media into Plann from my camera roll. I'm going to add in a reel that I want to post. Once Instagram gave us the capability to auto post reels, we jumped on it like it was a hotcake. So I'm going to go through my library on the Plann app, and I'm going to choose these little flowers, and I'm going to create a reel from that. And what's really great about this is it gives you the opportunity to kind of streamline. And what's great is you can trim and edit that clip however you want right within the Plann app. But then I'm going to go in, I'm going to upload it into Plann. And just give it a little moment here, you know, depending on your service, depending on wherever you're at, you can just pump that into your actual inspiration grid and how you can drag and drop and things like that. Now, once that opens up on this screen, you can go ahead and add in your captions like normal. So add your captions. This is also where you can add your hashtags. It really gives you all of the flexibility that you need to really produce video content in a very sustainable way. So this is, you know, just an example video. So I'm going to type in hiking just for fun because maybe I'll see flowers on a hike, you know? And then, so I've added in those hashtags using Plann's hashtag suggestions. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to, you know, choose a perfect time that I know that my audience is going to be online. And then you'll get this little notification that says, hey, you've now successfully scheduled your first reel. But a couple of things to notice is that you will need to make sure that it's toggled to auto post. So if you have a connected Instagram account, you'll need to make sure that it's toggled. Up here, I'm just, you know, updating my strategy really quickly. But this is how you can really streamline and straightforwardly boost your engagement with video content with Plann by having this stuff preset, ready to go, and then knowing that it's going to auto post for you. So that way you don't have to worry about that process later on. So obviously you now know how to create a reel, add an audio, do all these effects, schedule it in Plann, but I also want to talk to you about a cover photo. So cover photo is what is displayed on your profile, displayed on your grid. And normally on Plann, you can go in and add that cover photo as you're planning out your reel. However, because of the auto posting capabilities provided by Instagram, and this is industry-wide, we can't add a cover photo for an auto posted reel. However, there are workarounds, but I want to talk to you about is if you're just doing it through Instagram, how you go through and add a cover photo. So the first step is after you've finalized your reel and you've selected that share option, you'll open up into the information screen where you add your captions and things. In the frame of your preview, you'll see cover photo or edit cover. Click into that. You can either select a frame, for another frame from your reel by scrubbing through your video and stopping at that frame that you want, or you can add a custom cover photo by choosing the add from camera roll option. Once you've selected the image that you want as your cover photo or the frame that you want as your cover photo, you'll need to go to that little profile grid toggle at the top and move over and really adjust it so that it matches the aesthetic and vibes of your feed and of your grid. But let's also talk about how you can edit your cover photo after you've auto posted. So once you've auto posted a reel, obviously we mentioned you can't do it with a cover photo. So the way to do that is to navigate to your profile and click into the Reels section of your grid. Open that reel that you'd like to change the cover photo for, and then click the three dots in the bottom right-hand corner and select Manage this reel. You'll open up into another page that says Edit, turn off commenting, all of that. Click Edit, and then you'll route back to that information page for the reel on Instagram where you see your caption and hashtags, location, and all of that. In the preview frame where it says cover, and click into that. And then from there, you can, like similarly, if you're posting directly through Instagram, you can drag and drop, or I can go in and I can add a different image from my camera roll like normal. If I'm happy with that, from there, all I have to do is just click done. And then once it loads, it's going to, preview back on my grid with that new cover photo or that new frame that I've chosen for it. And you can see that kind of in this display. So we've really gotten all of these incredible tools and all of these really kind of strategic ways to get started with this. Now, don't be intimidated. This Reels 101 it's a lot of information. The great news is that this presentation is all yours. This video, this kind of walkthrough is all yours. So, reference it as you need. Be able, don't be afraid to use it. Don't be afraid to tap in and, get a refresher. And we'll continue to do this as we kind of go through some future webinars all about Reels and how to best optimize them for your small business. But honestly, we're so happy that you were here to join us for this reel today. The biggest thanks to all of you for taking time out of what I know is already busy to learn a little bit more about Instagram Reels and really getting going with your video content strategy. We'll follow up and we'll give you a lot more information on how to really optimize your Reels. So check your always be checking your inbox for our newsletters and replays of our webinars. Visit our website and mark your calendars. We always have more training sessions coming up and education sessions. You can take a peek on our site and then just sign up right there on the spot because we'd love to see you every week. And then if you really think Plann is awesome, share it. You can actually make money just by telling people about Plann. So if you know someone who could benefit from using this tool, tell them about it. Don't be afraid to share the good news. We don't like to be held secret because we're not holding our secrets back from y'all. So you can always join our Plann Ambassador program, and that gives you the chance to actually earn a little cha-ching every time you tell somebody else about Plann. All you have to do is sign up at the URL right here on the screen, www.plannthat.com/ambassador. It's totally free to join. And all you have to do is just share the unique referral link that you get from joining that Plann Ambassador program with all of your audience. And every time somebody signs up to Plann, you will get $10 credited to yourself, and they will also receive $10 towards a new Plann account. So everyone wins. We get to really connect with your audience in a new way. You get a little credit, they get a little credit. Everybody has a way to earn money and earn an actual growing contribution just by saying a little bit about Plann. And if you're already a Plann Ambassador, don't forget to keep sharing your link. You've probably already signed up. If you haven't signed up, make sure you do, and then keep sharing that link to boost your earnings every time you post or tag us. We want to do every single thing possible that we can to help you grow your small business, to help you connect with your audience all around the globe. And we also want to be able to support your growth in a financial way, in this little bitty financial way, to let you know how authentically we mean it when we say that we are here to help you grow your small business and give you that confidence to post on social. So hopefully you got a lot out of this webinar. Don't be afraid to email us, support@plannthat.com, hello@plannthat.com, tyler@plannthat.com. Don't be afraid. We're here to help you. We're happy to do anything necessary so that you really have all of the confidence you need to be a success on social media. So hopefully you've really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't forget to check out our website for future ones. And if you're interested in a real series, because we're really thinking about fleshing this out in a really exciting way, leave us your feedback, shoot back an email, send us a comment or a DM. Let us know that you want more of this content because we want to give it to you, but we got to make sure that it's the right content that you need to grow your small business. So thanks everyone for joining. Super grateful to have you all here and can't wait to see you for the next one. Y'all be safe and go out there and shoot your first reel. Super proud of you already. Okay, so now let's work through a few of the questions that came throughout the Reels 101 webinar. So when should you post your reels? So this is a really great thing that Plann helps you really kind of tap into. By heading to the results page on Plann, one of the things that we are always looking at kind of on the back end is what are your most optimized best times to post. And once you get a little bit more familiar with that, by checking that results tab regularly, you'll know exactly what is kind of like your sweet spot as far as time is concerned. So don't be afraid to, take advantage of that, tap into it, and that's going to help you really optimize your results as far as like knowing what times and days of the week to post. Another question that came through is, do you have to create the reels in Instagram? This is a really great question. You don't have to create your reels in Instagram. So if anything, I actually recommend creating them outside of Instagram, outside of these social media platforms. Create them on your own time in like some sort of video app, or just film some clips on your phone. And then what you can do is you can take those clips and just kind of blend them together, piece them together within Instagram, within other platforms like TikTok, whatever. You can piece your clips together so that they create this kind of like cohesive video content piece. But most of the time, I don't film anything really in Instagram unless I'm attaching a trending audio clip that I've come across on Instagram within the app. So that's just a personal preference. It's completely up to you. Do what makes most sense for you and your brand and your small business. What's another question? Are Instagram captions better for the algorithm, or does it matter if they're done in a different app? So I'm not totally certain I fully understand, but I'm going to go with what my gut's telling me this question is. So always adding captions is crucial. Making sure that you provide some kind of extra level of insight is going to go a really long way in boosting your engagement. Now, if you add captions like closed captions in an outside third-party app, that's still totally fine. That has nothing really to do with Instagram's algorithm. That is specifically just for user engagement. Now, I do recommend utilizing the engagement sticker option as you're like really building out your reel, because that's a tool of Instagram. So they're going to pay attention to how you're utilizing the platform, the tools, and things that are made accessible, and it might make a difference. But ultimately, the closed captions are for the viewer. They're not necessarily for the tool or yourself. It's really thinking outside of the scope and making sure that your viewer can engage and get the information that's necessary for that particular piece of video. We know how important Reels are to your business, and we're constantly updating Reels features as they're released. At the moment, they only allow. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm reading a response. How do you trim word timing if you just have one long reel? Do you have to trim the video in clips to do that? So no, you don't actually have to trim the video at all. So when you get to that preview kind of page where you're adding in your stickers and your effects and you're playing with the volume and you're adding in hand-drawn things and all that stuff, that's the page, that's the screen that you're going to really get to trim and edit the text. So add your text word by word, individual words. And then once you've added that word to the screen, you will see at the bottom of that screen where that word kind of exists in. It's like a little bubble almost, and it's just that word in a bubble. Click that bubble and it's going to open up a little editing bar where you can trim how long you want it to be displayed on the screen during your reel. So that's a really incredible tool to take advantage of, because that's how you get to do those kind of like point and go sorts of video content pieces. So it's really simple. Play around with it before you actually dive into like a post with it, but it's a really quick pickup. But it's all going to happen on that screen where we talked about the 6 icons at the top of that screen. When you get to the text, when you add a word, it'll be right at the bottom. Click that little button, and then you can trim and edit it to fit a beat, to fit a moment, to fit whatever is necessary for your reel. So another question that came through was, how do you choose the audio for auto posting reels? So personally, what I like to use, I use a tool called CapCut, CapCut. And one of the really great things about CapCut is they have a direct kind of infusion with TikTok. So you can always take advantage of kind of regular, recurring, popular sounds that are always showing up on TikTok, which typically translates over to Instagram throughout a duration of time. So what I like to use is I go to CapCut, and as I've edited and I've trimmed and I've added in like transitions and cool effects and stuff, I'll head over to their audio section and add in some sounds. That's a whole other kind of tutorial, but there are third party apps and tools and software that will manage and kind of keep their eyes on what's a trending audio, and that's really how I do it. So I would recommend downloading CapCut. It's a free app. Just download it, and you can connect your TikTok so that way, as you save sounds that are popular, you can add them to your clips and then upload it into Instagram later. That's a little bit of a more advanced, different process, but ultimately that's how I go about choosing. And or like we talked about throughout the webinar, I will find what is recurring currently and I will take advantage of that and save it so that way I can shoot something later natively within the app. Or just knowing like that's kind of like the vibe or the kind of beats or genre of music that's really kind of kicking off right now, so I can take advantage of that. Maybe this is a really great follow-up opportunity for a webinar series about reels and TikToks and video content, but that's my personal method. Do what works best for you and works best for your business. But download that app, play around with it, see what works best for you. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sorry, I'm gonna pop over to another one. What software? Oh, we already talked about it. What software do I use on my phone to edit the videos? CapCut, again, CapCut. This is one of those tools that is honestly an anomaly. I don't know how long it will be free, but it's been my go-to for a very long time now. So I always recommend CapCut. I think there's like Video Room. There's so many of those tools out there that you can take advantage of. Just find the one that you kind of have the best flow with and go with that. Let's answer another question. Let's see. Can you extend the audio time on a reel? Mine only shows a few seconds, but my videos are around 60 seconds. So you can extend the audio time. When you get to that Reels creation page and you've got all of those options on the sides of your screen, depending on those accessibility settings that we talked about, usually they're on the left side of your screen. But when you get to that little section right there, the way that you extend the duration of time, you'll have like a little music note. You'll have like, I think it's a 1x or maybe it's the time. Either way, in that section, you'll have like a timing little icon. Looks like a little clock. You can click on it and choose 15, 30, 60, and 90 seconds from there. Now, again, as we mentioned, Instagram has made this update to where all videos under 15 minutes are considered a reel. It seems like they're still working out a lot of those kinks, but ultimately that's how you would, adjust the duration of your timing. Let's look at another one. Where did I get my shirt? That's a secret, just for me. Okay, we answered that one earlier. What else do we have here? You don't see templates on your Reels page. Okay, this is normal. This is actually pretty run-of-the-mill when Instagram launches massive updates like this. Instagram is rolling these new features, these new updates out at random. So it will come to you. We just don't know exactly when it's going to be accessible to all users. That's literally an Instagram thing. So just hang tight. And all of these new features, all these new updates are going to be rolling out really soon to everyone. All right, so moving into some more questions. Can Can the templates be added to our planner? Unfortunately, this isn't possible, and this is like industry wide. Until Instagram allows scheduling tools like ours to really get into that kind of minutia of taking advantage of all of their tools and pulling it into the scheduling kind of environment, you will not be able to add templates to the like Plann environment. But what you can do is you can go ahead and utilize those templates, plug in your stuff, plug in your media, and you can save the clip. You can actually save your reel, download it using that little download icon we talked about on that kind of page where you jazz things up. You can save that specific reel to your camera roll, plug it into Plann, and just make a note of the audio clip that you want to attach to it that was paired up with that template. I know that's like kind of a frustrating workaround, but it's something that we also just like can't get our hands on just yet until Instagram allows us to do so. And this is industry specific. It doesn't matter which tool you like might consider. Genuinely, we're giving you everything that you need so that you know what to do around these kinds of hurdles. But there's not another platform out there that has this accessibility because that's just Instagram specific, like several other little components. Let's see what else we have. What is a remix? So we talked about this very briefly, but a remix is essentially just taking another user's reel or photo, crediting them, and then showcasing your reaction or comparison or product or process side by side simultaneously, or before and after, and kind of stitching that together. That I would recommend you just play around with a little bit before you really get going with it. Remixing kind of took me a little bit to get used to, but it's really simple once you grab it, but play around with it for a little bit and get comfortable with that. Okay, do I recommend trending music provided by IG versus user created audio in TikTok? So this is kind of a complicated question to answer. Ultimately, I like to use what I know is currently trending. So if I see that little arrow, like we previously talked about, that's my process. It's completely up to you how you approach it. Sometimes on Instagram, on TikTok, you'll have an original audio that really is kind of like skyrocketing. If you ultimately over time create kind of like that muscle memory of like things that you know will probably be really popular, you can take advantage of those kind of original audios on TikTok and get ahead of it. And it might be a bop, it might be a flop. However, just give it a whirl. I like I said, I use what I know is trending and I try to jump on it as quick as possible, specifically like within the first 3 to 5,000 reels is when I'm really trying to get into that audio. And that's just because I want to be kind of on the front end rather than the late end. So if you see an original audio that's picking up traction and you see lots of other users using that same sound, go ahead and jump on it and just see what happens. And if you see an original audio that's really giving you like, you really relate to it and you vibe with it, give it a whirl or don't. But, you'll kind of get muscle memory and understanding as you continue throughout that process. This is a really good one. Is it hashtags or sounds that get more likes? So this is actually a pretty straightforward answer. It's the audio. So Adam Mazzari, the head of Instagram, recently, it's probably a few months ago, came out with like this update about hashtags. Do hashtags help with engagement? Yes. Is it a massive help? Not really. But it's good to have because it gives you the opportunity to tap into those micro communities. Now, using trending audios gives you the opportunity to ride a wave into popularity and into success. So sounds are definitely the route to take. All right, so I'm going to round out our questions with a couple of more. Do you recommend reusing hashtags aside from your own branded hashtags? 100 million%. Like I was just saying, hashtags are micro communities. So if there's a hashtag that is relevant to your niche, relevant to your brand, relevant to your business, relevant to your industry, try to collect those in like a safe space. You can build your own strategic hashtag sets within Plann. So that way you can quick grab and access them depending on what your post is talking about. But 100% take advantage of these micro communities that are out there. And then also build a micro community around your branded hashtag. So, encourage your followers to use your hashtag. And then tap into that hashtag weekly and just jump in and see who's using it. And then comment on those photos, engage with their content so that they know that, hey, this really is a community. Like this brand, this business that I have tagged with their hashtag is actually watching what it is that I'm putting out in the world. It's a really great way to build an authentic and meaningful relationship with your audience. So 100% use hashtags outside of your branded hashtags. Just don't use more than 30. That's it. What else do we have? Do I have any suggestions for how to time movements to music? If it's not pre-planned, that seems difficult to do unless you have suggestions for apps that will do it automatically. There are apps out there that will do that kind of stuff for you. I personally, I was in band, so I have a pretty good rhythm and beat. So I just know like when it's a hard knock beat, that's when I need to make my transition. That's when I need to do kind of like my movements. That's when I need to like, do something fun that like really makes that engaging kind of content happen. So that's my recommendation for that. It comes with time. Obviously, I was in band for 8 years, but it does come with time, and that's what I would recommend. If you feel more comfortable utilizing one of those apps out there, you know, more power to you. Do what works best for you. I personally just don't want to spend money on on an app that I know that I can do myself with just a little bit of practice, if that makes sense. So, if I have suggestions, it's just dance around a little bit, get comfortable with some rhythms, and really build out your each clip to drop on a main beat. Honestly, it might sound a little weird, but listen to some like electronic dance music. It's like real big drops. It's real big like upbeats and peaks and all sorts of valleys and whatever within a melody. So you have a lot of opportunity to get some good practice with like watching a beat drop, and then that gets you more comfortable with it. All right, I'm gonna answer one more question. All right. Um, how do you start creating your own template instead of following one? What a good question. So ultimately, these seemingly are coming out randomly from Instagram. So if Instagram is noticing it, it's like they're adding it into their templates library. That might change. I also am not going to lie, I could be wrong about how they've done that. With all of the many updates that have come out recently, it's even hard for marketers and social media experts to kind of keep up some days. From what I understand right now, Instagram is specially curating these templates, like they special curate like audio clips and like music collections, things of that sort. So I don't know that you can actually create your own template that is publicly shareable. This might actually turn into like a really cool way to boost engagement later on. But as it stands today, to answer your question, I don't think that that's possible. I'm pretty sure Instagram is just providing those templates as needed. Hopefully that answers a lot of y'all's questions. Obviously, feel free to email us, reach out to us, support@plannthat.com, Tyler@plannthat.com, hello@plannthat.com, and we are here to help you grow your small business with Instagram Reels. So thank you all for all of your great questions. I appreciate it.